Okay, we're going to look at how to set up the personal project once you're in ManageBac, getting the worksheet and things set the way we would like to, and then how to check off the items that you were responsible to do. First thing when you've logged in is you want to go to the IB Manager or Personal Project, and you're going to see, for some of you, that nothing is set up. The information here that it talks about with Personal Project actually has some decent information. Gives you a little bit of an idea of what to expect, what to happen if you're not maintaining the meetings. There are 3 required face-to-face meetings with IB. If you miss them, it talks about what we will go through and how we will try to support you. But for now, I need you to go to Edit Personal Project Proposal. You're going to click on that, and you're going to see the window opens up. So now I'm just going to create a simple topic just as an example. So I'm going to sew, and then my goal is to create an outfit to wear. And I want to pick one of the global context. Other is not an option, even though it's on here. And the way I'm going to do that to start with is I'm just going to skim through all 6 of the global contexts and see which one best fits what I'm perceiving my project to be about. So I'm actually going to look at mine in the way of I think personal and cultural expression, because I can pick the type of things I want. I can pick the style, I can mix styles, I can pick different fabrics, and I need to be able to defend how I've selected it when I go back to report what I've done. Now, the inquiry question is, what am I worried about? What am I thinking about? What am I trying to get across? You could always go back after you've done some research and rewrite it, which is really a smart thing to do, but you do need to have one to start with so we can see where you might be headed with your project. So my question is going to deal with the types of options and machines I should use. I can't spell. Okay, so mine is just which type of sewing machine is best to use with the widest variety of fabrics for clothing. Okay, so that's fairly easy. Now I come to criteria. This one seems to be a trickier one. What this should be is a list or sequence of the different steps that you're going to need to have your project be successful. In other words, if I'm going to sew, I'm going to need to list all the materials I need, and I'm going to have to think about what would I do first. How am I going to get to having a item of clothing at the end? I can look at this little piece right here, and we can see here, it's an example. It talks about this person is using solar panels, and they're going to have 3 to 5 references and noodle tools. They've given a date. They've talked about building wheels, so they've kind of sequenced. They have a base assembly when it's completed, a solar attachment. They're going to do some trial tests, make adjustments. They're going to make sure their personal project entries or journal entries are up to date. And then they're talking about what they will consider successful, and they have a due date. So along those lines, if I come over here, if I'm actually going to be sewing, probably the first thing I need to do is research some different sewing machines. second thing is, how are you going to get that sewing machine? So if I were really a student, I'd need to figure out, am I going to rent a sewing machine? What will my parents let me do? Do I have a relative I can borrow a machine with? So I need to locate / secure a machine, can't spell again, to use during the project. I'm going to need to determine or find patterns that I like, or I'm going to have to create my own. And then once I've done that, I probably should collect the materials and the notions. So I want to research best fabrics based on pattern. Then I need to select it. And of course, probably the fabric is going to be based on my preference. Okay, then I need to purchase all the other items I need, like thread, straight pins. Hopefully I have scissors to cut with. I might need some buttons or a zipper, etc. And once I've done that, I need to lay out the fabric and pin pattern, then cut out. Okay, once I've done that, I actually need to start sewing. So I'm going to sew fabric, and I guess I should probably follow directions with the pattern. Once I've sewn it, I think I'm done. So I would then have to like take some pictures, and then make sure I'm completing, which I probably need to go back up here, is once I've done these, I need to make sure that I'm keeping journal entries. And I want to make sure that they have images, sketches, notes from research. Okay, so now I have this, but it's a really good list, but if I want to do better, instead of creating a Gantt chart, because we're already about 5 weeks away from having to need a finished product, I should go back and put some dates on here, which will help me keep going. So I need to research sewing machines really in the next week, and then I need to figure out how I'm going to get one. So I'm going to put by October, I should just abbreviate. So by October, well, if it's already the 7th, then I guess it's going to be by the 12th, which is a holiday. I'm going to put the same date here. Okay, and so here I want to do this 2 entries per week, since I need to select at least 10 for my report for IB. It would be good if I had at least 15 or so that I could actually look through and find the ones that give the best detail. Okay, so if I've got my sewing machine secured probably I need to really work on the next item. So I would say I need to have my pattern and things selected by October, I think probably around the 16th. And if that's the case, I need to know which fabrics. I'm going to do that really close to when I'm getting the patterns and stuff. So I'm going to say October 18th, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually sew an outfit. Here I'm going to select my fabric based on the research and personal preferences. I probably need to do that around October 18th as well. And then the purchasing of those would be at the same time I get the fabric. Now I'm going to say it's going to take me a couple days because I have other things to do on the cutting and the pinning. So I'm going to say by October 22nd. If I lay all that out, I'm going to sew. I want to try to have it finished by October, maybe the 31st. That's a good end of the month. So then if that done, October 31st is Halloween, might be kind of busy. So maybe by November 2nd, I want to have my pictures. So then I'm actually created a timeline that I can go back and modify. So I don't have a supervisor yet, so I'm just going to save my project. Now when I look at this, you can go back up and now I can see all the deadlines I have. I can also look at up here, here's my goals, here's my global context, here's my criteria. So what I need to do now is make sure that my supervisor or the homeroom advisory person is actually able to know I've done things. They can uncheck things that I check if they don't feel like they're completed enough, but it's my job to go through. I updated a goal and have one global context. Under criteria, I talked about how it was going to be successful. I even added a timeline. I don't have a process journal entry yet, so I cannot click that. But now I can go over here and I can look at my process journal entry and I can just start to tell it. Set up ManageBac worksheet and we'll begin finding a sewing machine. If I'm really smart, I would go ahead and find a website, add that to this, and see what's there. Now, I probably shouldn't have done that because now, look, it's still there. I want to make sure that this is here. So I'm going to say I'm going to research 3 things this week. Now, all I have to do is go here. It's not the best, but it does get me started, and I can go back to my worksheet now and say I've actually put in my first journal entry. I do want them to make more sense. I want to give a little bit more detail. I want to be able to explain what I did. What did I find? Was there something that I got frustrated with? Was there something that was super easy? Those are all important things. Now my next thing is I need to set up Noodle Tools, which Ms. Arbuckle did a great job of giving us some information how. I'm going to click here and I can go back and look at just a PDF, or I can watch the videos that Ms. Arbuckle left, and it's talking about creating the new Noodle Tools and where to go.
This is Ms. Arbuckle. In this video,
and I'm going to go back here because there's a really important thing. Here it says I need to print a screen. I need to print screen and image. That means I need to take a screenshot of this, and then I'm going to upload it back in my personal project. So when I go here, my next entry needs to be a print screen image. I'm just going to upload something really quick to show you how simple it is. So if I go here and I have print screen, whether it's on a Mac or PC, I have to come in and I'm going to add it. So I'm going to click on photo, and it's telling me that I can upload 5 photos at a time. Okay, and I can add a caption. My caption is going to be Noodle Tools Bibliography. I want to make sure they know what it really is. It's not going to look like that. And then I'm going to go to Browse, and I can look on my desktop. I'm sorry, there are a million different things on my desktop, okay? But I can look here, and I can find just about anything, preferably what it really is. So I'm going to just upload the timeline that we looked at a minute ago. It's now attached here, and I have to actually go here, and you're going to see now they can see that. They can open it, they can read it, they can look at it. Now that's really not a Noodle Tools biography, but I wanted to show you how simple it is. That's what we need to get you to do to be caught up right now. And you're going to want to have these 3 or 5 so that you can click this as well. Now your supervisors will be able to help you, and so will anyone else on the faculty. Hope that helps. Thanks a lot.